To our Team Global Aloha Monday call. So excited you're here. My name is Angie Huntley and I'm coming to you from Michigan. So it's funny because when people find out I'm part of the team, they assume I'm in the tropics always. I was on Seth's call last week and he got so excited that I was calling in from Hawaii and I had to just shake my head in disappointment. Don't be excited. It's not as exciting or beautiful, but we love Michigan. So excited to come to you from Michigan and excited to talk to you today. So welcome also if you're watching the replay on Team Global Aloha. This will be streaming there as well. And I'll try to get to any comments or questions because we're going to get to work together a little bit today. Really excited about that. I want to start with just a couple announcements. Hopefully you're all a part of LifeVantage Academy. And by that, I mean, hopefully you at least were registered for the call that was this last weekend. If you haven't gotten to watch it yet, if you were registered, you have access for 30 days. It was phenomenal. Erica Dale is one of our executive consultants, and she did a fabulous job and gave us some very practical advice for growing our business and meeting these goals. And so I can't say enough that she will speak your language, she will challenge you, and she will inspire you. And so if you haven't gotten on there, run and don't walk to find a time and watch that. Also, there's going to be another LVA coming up in May. So make sure that you're registered for that before that time comes. It's going to be a month from now. So just be looking forward and you can check your events through your personal website. And that's how you do that. So what you're gonna do is when you go to your website, you're gonna scroll to the bottom and under events, it'll lead you to event registration. So check out the LVA. We have a July event coming up. That's very exciting. That one's virtual. And then of course, be preparing your mind and heart and finances and your calendar for San Antonio in October, where we'll all get to see each other. So that's a wonderful thing to plan on and look forward to. How about payday, guys? We just had payday with Evolve. So Evolve released in March, but a lot of us were like, what's going to happen? What's it going to look like? What's the math? And I know for different ranks within the company, it wasn't a super positive move because things have shifted and the way that we've organized our businesses, kind of hurts or helps us. But for some of us, and especially lower ranks too, we saw some huge increases. So I just wanted to share with you, and you probably have experienced the same thing, that I had consultants who've been very dormant see massive increases in their income and get excited to work the business. And literally in the messages that I was getting from people, I'm thinking, Steve Fife is brilliant. Steve Fife is brilliant. And if you don't know, Steve Fife is our CEO who really had the boldness and the audacity to make this major move and ruffle feathers and deal with emotions and the pain of change and transition, which people never handle really well. So I want to commend our team as well because everyone's been handling change really well. And if you haven't, talk to your team members about their pay increase. Because when someone sees even $20 boost to $100 or $200 boost to $600, that's really major. And it starts to compute in their mind. This is something that I could do and really depend on. I apologize because I lost my voice a couple weeks ago and I just keep talking to aggravate it. So I'm not really letting myself heal. So I'm going to have to take sip breaks. So anyway, make sure you connect with people and encourage them as they've had pay increases, because that's really fun. And I think that's how we're going to see people re-engaging, because going from 2% to 10% is a very big deal. Going from 2% to 20%, even better. And some people 2% to 30% is very dramatic. So with that, as we talk about the winds of change and people struggling with that, I wanted to just address a little bit the price increase. Because I know we all have different feelings about it and we all come from different backgrounds, and seeing prices increase in a business that's so personal is sometimes very hard. So I want to share with you a little bit of my experience. Many of you know I had a franchise restaurant And I also have been in the corporate world where we were R&Ding a custom vehicle, a vehicle that had never been done before. And so we were prototyping a very, very large scale global project. And with that, we were pricing things. We were sourcing products. In my restaurant, we were sourcing products. There were 3 different times in the short lifespan of our restaurant. We were open for 6 years and COVID closed us, that we had to raise prices, and it was difficult. It was hard, but I owned the business. And so I had to do the math. And there's a point where I can't lose money by selling a bowl of gumbo to someone. And sourcing every single thing from the food toppings to the components of the meal costs money, to the rent that I have to factor into the price, to paying the employees. And everything in our world, you guys, has gone up. The prices of everything has doubled, tripled, quadrupled. I expected LifeVantage prices to go up way before they did. I don't know how they source these resources and these ingredients for these products that create the amazingness that they do for as cheap as they do. So first, I want to share with you that I think that our products are not overpriced. I actually think they're underpriced. Our products are state-of-the-art breakthrough technology that do what nothing else does. Every single product we have does something that no other product does. And so that costs something. And people have to develop a value for that. Our job, which is why we're going to talk about customer care today, our job is to teach people the value of that. And not everyone will grab it. And we can't make people prioritize wellness. So some people are just not going to prioritize it. But some people are going to value a $6 cappuccino from Starbucks more than they're going to value collagen that may be healing them from the inside out, that's activated and turning on their body's production of collagen, which is unheard of. But what I love about our products, not only do they work, but they work because LifeVantage will not cut a corner. When I talk to people about the ingredients that are in our products, I'm so proud. I know that they aren't skimping on anything. The reason NRF2 activation works is because we have special somethings in there, and we don't say, well, I wonder if it'd be cheaper if we used, I don't know, like, rosemary instead of turmeric. We're not going to do that because it doesn't work. And we could fool people, we could trick people, we could have them waste their money on a cheap product that doesn't work, but that's not who we are. And people will pay money for overpriced products all over the world because, and they don't do what ours do. So we just have to recognize, okay, our work's cut out for us, our prices went up. And so let's make sure that people understand what they do. And let's try to influence as much as we can how much they prioritize wellness in their life. So let's sprinkle into their life the importance of wellness. Let's sprinkle into their life information about our products so that they will develop a value for them. And some people will experience our products and they will be so life-changing. And many of you are this way too. The products were so life-changing for my family, I would pay anything. I would pay anything for them. In my experience, I prioritize our food and shelter and our LifeVantage products. I have 2 type 1 and insulin. I have 2 type 1 diabetic sons. And when I think about the apocalypse, this is literally my thought. This will tell you my level of crazy. When I think about the zombie apocalypse, I think, how will I get insulin and how will I keep getting my LifeVantage? Like, that's how important they are. I'm not concerned about like how I'm going to take care of a designer rug or, I look at people wearing $200 shoes. People do have the money. And then I'll just fall back because I don't want to spend the whole call on this I'll fall back on quoting Candy Kreslik, who was a guest presenter with Kamaile, I think a month or 2 ago. And she said, I live in the poorest area of her state. And she said, when I talk to people that can't afford it, then I say, let's make you some money. I'm really good at training people to make money in this business. So let's go. Let's sign you up. You need to earn the money for your products, and maybe some more on top of that. And so what a wonderful opportunity to say, I can help you with that if they can't afford it. But you know what, you guys, if we had the cheapest products, there'd still be people who'd walk out and say they were too expensive. We had people walking away from our products before because they could get it cheaper on Amazon. Now they can't get it cheaper on Amazon. So it's just part of the fickleness of consumers. And last thing about pricing is that people in business, people are always going to walk away from you. We want to have more people walk towards you than walk away, but there are always people that ate at a different restaurant. There are always people that shop at a different store if you own a store, but it's very personal for us because we are our business. At my restaurant, I had employees that were there sometimes when I wasn't. So if someone walked out, I didn't always have to see them. I didn't always have to have the relational connection. But here we're so relationally connected. And we want this so badly for people that we get emotional with it. But I think if we just focus on customer care and making people understand, we can't make them, presenting to people an opportunity to understand how precious and what a treasure we have with these products, then you are going to talk to people. They never bat an eye at the price. And when I've tried to apologize for the price for people and talk it down, those are the people who go and buy an ultimate stack and they add 5 other skincare products. So don't decide for people what they can't afford, and we just move on to the next person. If someone leaves, they might come back once their body starts experiencing the absence of activation. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about customer care. So let me get a sip of water really quick too, so I don't cough through it. All right, so I've talked to you guys before about customer care, and I am pretty neurotic about my customer care. I think with our business, one of our key attributes, excuse me, is consistency. And so I just want to challenge you all to make a customer care that is you. And I'm going to share what I do, and that might not be what you want to do, but you have to have a customer care plan. You're in business now. So think about when I'm talking through what I do, I want you to just think like, would that work for me? How would I develop this differently? And I want you to know that as I share with you what I'm doing, I am working with Vandy to create a new improved customer care that's automated that we'll be able to share with you all. That'll send automatic messages through a funnel that you can just enter the person's information in, and then it will automatically send, and you can respond from a business number. So yay, that's coming. But why I'm doing this anyway right now is because I don't want you to wait till then. Some of you have signed up customers this week that are going to need customer care before we release that. And some of you have signed up customers in the last month that need you to catch up on customer care. They need to hear from you before we release that. So I want to be an encouragement to you through that to say, don't wait, start now, and then we'll just improve it for you. And I'll keep you posted on that as that's coming. So in Facebook, I'm going to screen share a second, and I want to show you where I started with customer care. And actually, before I share, I want you to know to think about your organization. If you're new, just soak all this in and think of what baby steps you can do, and talk to your enroller, talk to the person closest to you in your upline who's working the business. If you have an organization where you have consultants underneath you who are getting customers, I want you to do their customer care. And here's why. Your new consultants, or even your half-time or part-time consultants, your little pinky in, I like to quote Kristen Algren, I have my little pinky in. Your consultants that have their little pinky in, their customers need customer care. And their customers might become a consultant who gets a customer, who becomes a consultant who gets a customer, who could be your next executive downline. So use customer care. And what I do is when I get a notification that one of my consultants gets a new customer, waving to my son, that one of my consultants gets a new customer, I put them through my whole customer care funnel And every single correspondence I sign from me and my consultant. So let's just say that Debbie was in my downline and Debbie just got a new customer. My back office just told me. I would put that customer care in my calendar. And then when I send the email, I will address it to Debbie and her new customer. And then when I sign off, I'll say, this is from Angie, or sincerely, I usually sign off peace and wellness, Angie Huntley and Debbie Cottrell. And then I'll have Debbie's website because I always want them to go through her business. But part of that is so that they're connected to a third party immediately, especially if they ordered without being connected to a third party. And the second part of that is I want to train Debbie to not only have all that content, she's going to have all that content in her inbox, in her email now, so she can develop it, use it, copy, paste it, shift it, and start learning how to do it. And her mind will start connecting dots. Like she may see something I said and say, oh, I wouldn't have said that, Angie. And then she can change it. And she can start taking notes and develop what she wants to do. And I tell my consultants, like, I'm going to do it at first. And then anytime you want to take over, you're going to launch from me. But I want you to see what I do. And I want you to see the importance of what I do and the information that me having been in this for years, the things that I feel are really, really important for people to have throughout their journey. And so that's why I do that. And I got that too from Marcel at the Pro 5 Summit. He said, you know what, you guys, you've got to care for your downline. And you have to help your downline step into this because it helps me if Debbie keeps her customer. It helps me if Debbie's customer tells her friend. And then if her friend wants to be a consultant, it still helps me. So part of my whole retention is caring for my downline. And then you're going to have people like Angie who will say, I got it, I'm going, and I can do it on my own. But you have to teach them to do that. Okay, so here's where I started, you guys. I got this from other really cool team members that developed a program. And I just kind of went from there. So you can probably see, I don't want my inbox. Can you see my Facebook right now? No? Yes. Can you see my Facebook? Okay. So when I go to Facebook, this is, I'm just going to show you what I do, or where I started. If I go to Facebook and I go to Team Global Aloha, which is interesting because we're streaming into Team Global Aloha right now. And then within Team Global Aloha, let me close that. I can search, I'm going to go to the search button and I'm going to search customer care. You can see I had actually just searched that. Oops. You're going to see a terrible picture of me first. Oh, morning, bedhead. Hello. And there from Christy Abel, and she has a great video here on customer care. You guys, this is where I got started. And then if you click on the comments and you bring up the comment, if you bring up the comments for customer care, you're going to find, hello Google Drive. And she has a lot of content in there that you can use for customer care. And I know that sometimes posts like this go low on the feed and you forget that they're there. But if you haven't started customer care, that's a really, really great place to start. That's what I did. Now, let me stop my share for the moment. Mine has evolved a lot since then because our company has grown, our product line has grown, and social media is crazy. We have so much new information, so many great shareables. There's times I see things on social media that are so professionally done that it's a shareable that has better information or a new study. And I'll think my customers need that on day 5 instead of what I was sending them before. So it's always evolving. I mean, we've just released collagen and I mean, the before and after pictures and all of the things that if someone's not on social media, I want them to get through customer care. So I send out emails. I try to time it. If I get if I get a new customer or someone in my downline gets a new customer today, I'm going to send out my welcome email, not today, not tomorrow. I'm going to send it out 2 to 3 days, through 2 to 3 business days, shipping days after they place their order. Because I find that if I send the email today, they're going to see in their inbox and be like, okay, yeah, I don't have my product yet. I don't even need to open that yet. Then 5 days from now, when they get their product, they're going to open their product and they're going to start and they're going to never open the email. So it's 2 separate things. So I want to try to create, for me, just working the psychology of it, I want those 2 events to be as close as possible to meet. And there's a connection of like, oh, I got an email, I just got the box, here's what I'm going to do. And so I send them a welcome email at that time. And then in my calendar, I count out 5 days and I write their name and write day 5. And then I go 30 days from that initial email. So basically, today, I would go 5 days from now, then I would do 30 days from now and I write their name, and then 55 days, then 75 days, then 90 days. This is all in that video. So I do welcome, 5, 30, 55, 75, 90. And those are all the times that they're getting information from me. Now, when Vandy and I do the automated ones, we're going to go further. We're going to go out more. I can't remember what we said. If Vandy's on the call, she can remind me, but we're going to go much farther, which I prefer. I want to keep the conversation going. And so most of my content is actually saved in my email. So I'm going to go to my Gmail really quick and just show you what I do. If you don't know how to copy and paste, it's time to learn. Find a younger person and ask them to teach you to copy and paste. Ask them to teach you on your phone because it's different. Then ask them to teach you on your computer that's applicable to whether you have Mac or Windows. I could not do my customer care without copy and paste. And then I just fly through it. So I'm going to share my screen once again and go to my Gmail, which has everything for me. Can you guys see? Oh, I can't see you now. So one second. Can you see my Gmail?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome to my inbox. So I'm going to go to my sent box. That's where I find everything. And I just got a new customer. Now here's what I do. I have to fine tune it by what they bought. And here's why it's been harder to automate and why I've always done emails, because some people buy just NRF2, which is what our customer care is made for. But some people buy collagen and fat burn, and some people buy Axio and Pet Tandem, and it just starts getting out there. So I've really had to expand my content, and I got to look at what they order. It takes work. It does take work. But when you're in this business long enough, I can usually find an email that's applicable. So all of my welcome emails start with welcome to Life Vantage. And then I also put the name of what they ordered so that I can copy and paste. So in my subject bar, I would have said, welcome to Life Vantage Healthy Glow Essentials. Welcome to Life Vantage Activated Essentials and Axio. So that if I just had someone order Healthy Glow Essential stack, I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to that. And then this was to Marsha. Now this one, Marsha was actually one of my consultants, customers. So you're going to see what I do for a consultant. I word everything we. So we're so happy to have you. We chose this information for you. Everything's we. If it was my customer, I would use I. So good afternoon, Marsha. Thank you for your order. We are so thrilled for you to experience this. And then I let her know that as you begin to take Protandim, NRF2, and activated collagen, positive changes are happening in your body. And while all these wonderful things are happening, I'm totally summarizing, some people start to feel a little detox. I address detox right away. I believe in proactive communication instead of reactive. You guys, I used to own a dance studio. I've dealt with dance moms, newsletters. Anything I could say before they reacted to me, I could always just say, yeah. And if you would have read the newsletter, it was right there. It was just the best line. Reactive is, oh my gosh, these are making me sick. What do? I want to cancel. Whereas I can say, now let's refer back to your welcome email and we can talk through this, and I can work with people a lot. I let them know in here, if your symptoms ever get to be too much, just reach out, and there's so much we can do. It's our joy to work with you. I have a link here, which is part of our customer care of Dr. Brett Brimhall, just introducing people to the products. He gives phenomenal information. But see, since that was saved in my email, I don't have to go find the link. All I have to do is copy and paste this whole thing. Now with collagen, I include the little superoxide dismutase information. I've added that. I included the SOD study. And then now I've eliminated, this is an older one, I've eliminated the back office information, and I give them instructions that I do give everyone their customer ID number, but now I say something like, if you decide, I changed it. So if you look up here, as a preferred customer, instead of saying you have access to a virtual office where you can update your personal information, I'll say, as a preferred customer, you can simply just log into Catherine's website, enter your personal ID number and the password you created when you ordered, and you can change, cancel, add to your order at any time. And then I sign off, and you can see my consultant's name is Catherine Troyer. I have her website. And here's other things that I do, you guys. I add a study conclusion from Louisiana State University to say, wow, this is pretty amazing, this Nerf 2 special thing. No way would this be too expensive. And then I have a little bit of collagen. This one says activate, replenish, maintain. I put the comparison chart, which is so very cool. And I have slides that are 5 different reasons why collagen is so important. Stole it from social media. And, and I sprinkle those throughout the day. So you can see I only did day 1 right here. And then I have a Protandem day 1 document that you guys can find in customer care. That's my welcome. Now, if I need to go, it's time to do day 5 for Marcia. So all I have to do, you guys, is type in day 5 and search, and it's going to bring up in my sent folder. Look at, I've got day 5 for activated collagen, for healthy glow essentials, for Protandem, for activated essentials in Axio, pet tandem, because I have changed it up a lot. I've also created folders within, I'm going to stop this share now. I've created folders on my computer for every single product. And I just start to populate them. If I find a shareable on social media, you guys, I screenshot it, I save the JPEG and save it. So like, you know, just the other day, I saw the coolest slideshow of NAD information. It was phenomenal. So I saved them all because I'm like, I just had in my customer care dialogue with someone, I was sending out like day 30 to him, and he responded back, should I add the NAD to dual synergizers? What actually is NAD? And I'm like, bam, bam, bam. I gave him these slides. I have a video of Dr. Dixon and included that, and he added it. So upsell. It's very, very common for me to upsell and to bring people back after they quit. And a couple, I know I'm nearing the end of the half hour here. So just a couple quick tips is, one is if someone quits, I keep them in customer care. So let's say they did a one-time order and I sent them day 30. And my wording always says this: if you've been taking the products consistently now after 2.5 months, this is what's happening in your body. And I use that word if, because I want them to know what they're missing out on. Like they chose to stop, but if they see something, if they open that email, they might think, shoot, maybe I shouldn't have quit. So it's a way to pull them back. And I don't say, I'm so sorry you dropped your order. What's going on? Is it too expensive? No, that's too negative. I just keep giving them the positive information. And I've even had people who quit before I did customer care. And I said, you know what? I know you're not on the products. This time I did address it. I know you're not on the products anymore, but back when you were my customer, I really should have been giving you customer care. And this is information I would have loved for you to have. And so here you go. One of the emails I was planning on showing you guys was, I have in a subject bar to someone, day 30, Protandem. Wow, I'm sorry this is late, in parentheses. So here's the other thing I want you to know. Like, my life gets crazy too. I get behind. So I have weeks happen where everything flips upside down. And all of a sudden I didn't send out customer care. I don't just say, oh, bummer, I failed at customer care. Heck no, I just am honest with people. And the more human I am, the more they're going to see that this is a business they can do. So I start out my email and I'll say, hey, Marcy, I really should have sent this at day 30. Life happened and it's been crazy, but I still want you to see this information. So take a look at what happened in your body on day 30. This is phenomenal, and blah, 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 blah. And you'll get more information from me soon. And so don't let any insecurity or beating yourself up, because we all do it. Don't let that stop you from keeping people experiencing the magic of these products. Lastly, part of my customer care is my product page on social media. And all of you have a product page. It might be the one that I call my product page. It might be a different one, but make sure you have a product page where you are consistently getting new information in front of your people. Because that was the other reason that was the whole reason that guy asked me about the NAD, because he was seeing information about different products sprinkled consistently, getting in front of him on social media. He wasn't liking them. He wasn't commenting. I didn't even know he was on there, but that's how I got him. And that's how he upsells. And keep your stories going, because that's what people are looking at. I have customers that are on my personal page seeing my stories that might not have accepted the invitation to my product page. And and they'll look at my story and just send me a message and say, should I be taking collagen too? That's a great conversation to have with people. And so let your existing customers be constantly getting a knowledge of how priceless. I hope I used this word earlier. If I didn't use it, thank God I remember to use it now. Our products are priceless. I told you they could name their price and I would be on them. They gave me my kids back. Priceless. So make sure you're showing them how priceless they are. Make sure they're hearing testimonies. Make sure they're seeing the science. Make sure they're hearing from medical professionals and different people, and that you can do that in those private groups. And so utilize those. That's how I built my business. And it is a part of customer care. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up now because I'm out of time, but does anyone have questions? And I'm sure I missed stuff in the chat, because you see I talk a mile a minute because I don't have time to read the chat. Does anybody have a question?
Angie, I have a question about people who aren't on social media.
Yeah.
What do you do with your proactive health and wellness for that?
Well, they're not going to see proactive health and wellness. And that's why I think customer care is so important. That's why you have to send the information via email or even in person. I have one gal that lives 2 hours away from me, and she's a great customer and needs care. She's a little bit fragile. I'm going to drive and go to lunch with her next week. I say nurture those relationships. And if that means texts, a walk, sending a written card, like Erica Dale said, just nurture those. Most of us kind of know who our non-social media people are. We can't control what people will look at. And even these emails, I can't make them read the text. I can't make them click the link. I can't make them look in their inbox. You can't make them answer their phone, but we can give them an opportunity to. And so I want you to be, as much as we take a layered approach to health, I want you to take a layered approach to customer care and think, I have customers in so many different stages of life with so many different technical abilities and digital abilities that, do you want to have a business that's applicable to people outside of social media? And if you do, then find the way that they connect. I have a new consultant, and one of her customers will not open her email. And my new consultant said, will you send it by text? Will you send it by text? And I'm copying and pasting and doing this by text and putting the attachments into my photos and attaching them and I'm doing it. So I do cater to a lot of people. I know that's not totally sustainable, which is why we're developing the automatic texts. But as much as we can do it, why not do it? Because our business is so relational.
Hey, Angie, I just wanted to say that, I've been reaching out to you. You've been giving me some great nuggets and I really appreciate it on customer care. And I love what you said about making a customer care plan that's works for you. So something I just recently did where I haven't implemented my whole customer care, but I have gone on the back office and I did a whole kind of deep dive with the rewards inner circle there. And I saw that I had a customer who had just got an order, and I probably wouldn't have reached out to her weren't for your customer care information. I reached out to her just over the phone, and she actually let me know that her daughter didn't like check the post office thing right, and so her college inbox got sent back. But she's the kind of person that would never have called and told me that. So I was able to like get the customer, get it all resent and back and everything. But it just, it was like, even if you can't do it to the extent that you're doing it at the beginning, just those little touches, even if you can reach one or two people, like that was a win for me. And I'm excited to continue on. So thank you.
Absolutely. It's really establishing a platform for dialogue with someone. Not everyone will jump on and take the bait. You can't make people talk to you, but if you establish a platform for them to, you'll be amazed how it helps your retention and your upselling. And you guys, even if I had to, this is what could work for you. Like if you're like, well, I can't manage a calendar and I don't want to save folders. I could literally fly by the seat of my pants and just say, remind me on Monday to send a welcome text to Joanne. And then after I send that welcome text, then I can send my phone's going to remind me. And then I can just say on day 5, I can look at 30 days and say, remind me on such and such a date to send a day 5 or a day 30 to Joanne. And you could scramble on social. If you got on any product page, Activating You, Activated Life, Proactive Health and Wellness, and searched for what they ordered, you'll find a shareable that you can be like, I'm going to send them this. Like you could even if you're totally chaotic life and don't want to be organized, you could do it that way. And your customers will probably just love you for thinking of them. So yes, find what works for you. Anyway, Petra.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's a naughty thing to ask, but would you be willing to share that email that you showed us with all the attachments?
Yes.
Maybe even just for that one, like for the pretendum, like your string of emails, the way you are wording them now as to how it was in the past.
Yes.
It would be just really neat to have that resource. Do you need our email addresses?
Yes. So don't put them in the chat here, but private message them to me. And what I will do is I have one of my new consultants just had a launch party yesterday. So I have a lot of welcome emails to send out, and I can BCC any of you and just include you, and then you'll have all the content. You'll have every attachment, and I've done this before with people from this team. So basically it'll be like running you through customer care. So, if you get an email from Angie Huntley that says day 55, Healthy Glow Essentials, you'll know that I'm sending it, you're just BCC'd on it, and save that. And then that'll always be in your email search, or you can develop a folder system within your email, or you can save those attachments and put those in a folder system in your computer.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Anybody else? And that's this, you don't have to do what I do, but do what fits you. You're going to find something, but I'm telling you, continued communication pays off.